Thank you very much, Mr. Foch. And forgive me, I apologize. I thought you were in the United States. I didn't realize you were a little bit closer to us in Turkey. I suspect we will all agree that that was a more concise and very good presentation that sort of took us round and gave us a clear picture of what could possibly be happening in other markets as opposed to Nigeria. Okay, so I hope we have the speakers still available to answer questions, particularly the speakers on the video link. I don't know if the technology crew can advise that and keep them online to listen to the conversation and also answer questions, and that you in the audience will begin to have your questions ready. Before we go on to our last two panelists, I would like to call on Oyinkan to please come back to the podium and properly introduce Comrade Issa Aremu from the NLC. We didn't do too well on his introduction, so I'll just ask Oyinkan to come and take a minute and reintroduce him.
Good morning again. Before I do the introductions, please note once again that we'd like you to do the surveys on the apps, please. There, if you click on the appropriate link, there's some surveys there. We'd like you to do them. Also, the household energy survey, it's further down the page. Please do that as well. And later on in the session, before it ends, we're going to be doing the energy trivia questions again. We'd like to apologize. Earlier on, when we introduced Comrade Issa Aremu, we didn't get the right profile. He has very kindly provided us with a brief profile, which I shall read out now. Apologies for that, sir, and thank you for forwarding this. Comrade Issa Aremu, MNI, was born in Ilorin in 1961. He had his secondary education at Ilorin Grammar School before moving to the School of Basic Studies, Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria in 1977. He obtained a BSc degree in economics from the University of Pt.4 in 1985. He obtained a master's degree in labor and development from the Institute for Social Studies, The Hague, the Netherlands in 1991. He's an alumnus of George Meany Labor Center in Maryland, Washington, where he attended from 1987 to 2003. He's a member of the National Institute, MNI, for Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru, where he did the Senior Executive Course 27 in 2005. He joined the labor movement as the head of the Economic Research Department of the Nigeria Labour Congress between 1987 and 1989. He joined the National Union of Textile, Garment and Tailoring Workers of Nigeria in 1989. After 20 years of active union career, he rose from an organizing secretary to become the General Secretary of the Union in March 2000. He took over as the General Secretary of the Union from Comrade Adams Oshomole, MNI, the Comrade Governor of Edo State, and two-time former President of the NLC. Comrade Aremu is currently the Vice President of the Nigeria Labour Congress and an executive member of Industrial Global Union with 50 million members in 165 countries with headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. In 2013, he was elected the Secretary General of the Alumni Association of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies. He's currently the Chairman of the Interim Management Committee of First Guarantee Pension Limited. He has served on the board of Michael Imodu National Institute of Labor Studies and Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund. His contributions helped to reposition these institutions as leading labor market institutions in Nigeria. He served on the tripartite Federal National Minimum Wage in 2000 and 2010 and Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Commission in 2003. He's currently a member of Tripartite National Labor Advisory Committee made up of government, employers, and trade unions. He also serves as a member of the Labour City Transport Service, LCTS. He's a visible leading member of mass national action on socio-political issues during the struggle for democracy and against military dictatorship. He's the chairman, International Committee of Nigeria Labour Congress, and a columnist with the Daily Trust on Reflections, which comes out on Mondays. He's a renowned author with the following publications: The Social Relevance of Trade Unionism, The Crisis of Pricing Petroleum Products in Nigeria, The Collapse of Textile Industry in Nigeria, Implications for Employment and Poverty Eradication, and Tears Not Enough, Reflections on Series of Labor and Trade Unions, Industry and Economy, Media and Gender Issues, Friends, Comrades and Heroes, and Good Governance and Democracy. Comrade Issa Aremu, hold on. Comrade Issa Aremu, MNI, is one of the Labour delegates to the 2014 National Conference. He's a strong activist on national productivity and reindustrialization of the Nigerian economy, and he's married with children. Now, you can now understand why it was criminal for us not to have made this introduction to start with. And we apologize once again, and thank you, sir, for forwarding this to us in good time for us to do it now. I'd like to hand over to the chairman. Okay.
Oyiko has explained why we had to spend some time listening to Comrade Aremu's CV. He will speak next, but I'd like to remind us again, let's not, and this is for the audience, and hopefully there will be a few questions on that, let's not think that managing the transition from public to private is all about selling or privatization. It's about reforming also, and privatization, while it is probably the most visible and the one in which we are most interested, it's actually only one of the various measures that, as President Saakashvili has mentioned, as Eric has mentioned also, is only one of the processes or one of the steps in that entire gamut of moving us from public to private. So hopefully we'll bear that in mind, and we'll maybe focus on that when we're asking one or two of our questions. So, Comrade Aremu, please, the floor is yours to give us your comments on what you've heard.
Mr. Chairman, the fellow panelists, distinguished participants at the 7th Lagos Economic Summit, I want to say good morning to everybody. And I've brought to you fraternal greetings from Nigeria Labour Congress, of which I'm the Vice President. I brought to you fraternal greetings, and in particular to the Lagos State Government and the organizers of this summit. First, we are excited in NSC that at this critical time in our national development, in which the public stories now are all about violence, about avoidable killings, I think Lagos State Government is changing the narrative of Nigeria for better with this summit.